Hey there folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. In the last part we wrapped up the Hildebrand story for A Realm Reborn. And now, it's time for the extreme primals. So we're going to start off with Primal Nature. It is decided. The stance of the Scions must evolve from shifting sand and yielding stone. My place, however, is here in this land of unending tragedy. Ere must I remain until the true nature of the primals is revealed unto me. Many seasons did I toil to fashion a net across this vast realm, a net that catches not fish, but nuggets of wisdom more valuable than gold. Yet even possessed of this hoard of knowledge, I cannot purchase all the keys of the confounding doors that bar my passage. Thus must I presume to unsheath the blade born of light. Thine is a strength that shattereth the stoutest barriers, and doth pierce that which obfuscates the impotent gaze of ordinary men. We have not the luxury of time required for my measured scholarly pace. For the other's nest is astir, hissing with the news of Garuda's return. Her winds have grown ever more violent, ever more destructive. What lieth behind the sudden waxing of power? The answer may well prove a vital piece of the puzzle of the primal's existence. Mine eyes perceive a looming wall of strife poised to crash down upon our cities with unstrayed fury. For the dance, you must pacify the Lady of the Vortex. Swiftly now to the other's nest. Heist, the urban commander Hulu will have such details as thou needest to proceed. I shall wait thee at the waking sands and pray for thy success. Alright, so let's head for Gridania. Yes, he has more quests. Yes, we'll be back here. Oh, will we be back here? Ah, Arya of the Scions, might I deduce from your stern expression that you have heard the disturbing news? Aye, Garuda returns once more to plague our nightmares. I fear this incarnation of the lady is more tempestuous than we have yet witnessed. If you are prepared to face this roiling storm, then I will brief you on what must be done. I don't know what to take. Gale Force Warning. We first learned of Garuda's return when the Primal fell upon the Blue Badgers as they sought to construct a new watchspire. The devastation was absolute. According to the report of one surviving engineer, Garuda invoked the most horrific gale with but a gesture of her taloned hand. The powerful winds tore apart the half-built tower, crushing the workers and scattering their broken bodies like dolls. By all accounts, it appears the Lady of the Vortex has grown stronger with this summoning. Okay, for real, I was not summoning and I was not yawning until I started recording. For real! She must be stopped before the casualties are allowed to pile any higher. But as you might imagine, the XIV, eager to please her bloodthirsty goddess, are engaging our troops on every front. I have not soldiers to spare for a primal hunting expedition. Thus, I sent word to the Scions to beg the aid of proven champions. You and your companions are our best hope for freeing Gridania of this rampaging fiend. I ask that you confront Garuda in her customary domain, the Howling Eye. Such a titanic conflict is best confined in Exile lands, wouldn't you think? Though I imagine the Birdmen have since made adjustments to their crystal, the Beastman Etheric found within Nautilon remains the surest means of entry. May 12 guide your arm, Arya. So that does mean we're off to Coerthas. Not Ishgard. Coerthas. God, I love flying. So nice! I literally don't remember that part. The Howling Eye Extreme is now accessible. So, for the love of all that is holy, do not ever queue these in party finder unless you're using undersized party. You, like, I'm just gonna do this for funsies. Oh wow, only 15 minutes? Wow. That's actually kind of sad. Probably because I have a tank. But still, yeah. Yeah, it's... These are... They're called extreme for a reason. These are hard on level. Very, very hard. Also, I forgot to turn up the music. I've committed a grave sin for Garuda. Also, think I honestly forgot to turn up the sound in general here. I did! Oh my gosh. Double sin for Garuda. Okay, now I'm like getting blasted out. I have my sound turned up. Alright, so Garuda Extreme! So, Ballad of the Star is going to be very, very similar to regular Garuda. She's going to use Slipstream, which you can run under her to avoid. If it hits, it will stun. She's going to create a pocket of calm already. If you're in it, you will get knocked in. And she's already summoning the ads. You ideally want to go for the one that is not tethered. The one that is tethered has a bunch of buffs on it, I do believe. And then you want to go for the untethered one, at which point Garuda becomes damageable again. And you want to make sure that you are not damaging the inner pillars, much like normal. That was mean. So... Slipstreaming. So that's the basics of the phase 1 of Garuda here. Of course, I'm doing most of the damage because we're like actually trying to not damage her too much. So again, there's no hope, no escape, none. That's when she does that, she will be vulnerable again. So now we're gonna have a bunch of plumes in here. You'll notice that one of these is not like the others. Oh shoot. It's on me. So we have a spiny plume and a bunch of razor plumes. The spiny plume you do not want to kill right away. If you can help it. Which is very difficult, honestly. Luckily, it's like barely damaging me, even though it's on me. I'm also getting some thermal lows, which means I take more. I take some damage over time. She's slipstreaming. Eventually, she is going to jump away like so, at which point you want to defeat the spiny plume. Get in, and she will use Minstrel Shriek. Arena-wide damage that you need to be in... Dang it. Doing very good standing on. Very hard to avoid them, honestly. Arena-wide damage that will do a high amount of damage if you're not in the Spiny Plume bubble. So So again, the sisters are back. Apparently, I have a friend in Suparna here. Yeah. And she has brought this mechanic back. The spots of AoE pain. So, that is the basics of Garuda Extreme. She will rage eventually. I don't exactly know what all her enrage does, but, you know. You know. And with that, we can take her out. Get an achievement. There's an achievement for every extreme. There's a lot of them. Oh! Apparently I got that one too. Nice, nice. Did we get it? No, we did not. Dang. Our efforts to augment Garuda's powers were met with a predicted success. It is mildly unsatisfying then that the Primal was thus summarily defeated. Against the bringer of light, it appears a heavier hand is required, and now that the focus has been discovered, it is of no consequence. Even should they understand the significance of its presence, they have no means to prevent the summonings. And the beastmen continue to crave ever more powerful avatars every time their gods fall. With each link forged in this chain of ambition, the shackles of chaos are bound ever tighter. It is not for us to entertain such speculations. We are bid only to convey what we witness. Let us be gone from here. So, back to Gridania. Once more, Garuda has fallen to your might. You have our gratitude, Arya. We are blessed to count such heroes among our allies. Was this some memento of the battle, perhaps? Ugh, with an uncanny emerge from the bone. I've never seen its like. Cannot guess for what foul ritual this object would be used. Might there be some connection to the Primal concerning the place in which it was found? I must ask that you take this grisly trophy to the Waking Sands and consult with Urianger. Perhaps he can provide some insight. I know I still have tickets, but... Thou art returned whole from thy grueling trial. Hath the battle with the lady gifted thee a glimpse into the Primal's fortress of inscrutability? A ritual focus of Ixali Bone. Home to what tainted powers I cannot say. Pray leave this curiosity with me, that I might dwell further on its nature. Garuda's unseemly strength was not fueled by crystal caches and tempered worship alone. Nay, I fear some new rite of summoning was employed. The rigid culture of the Ixal rarely spawned a such anomaly. Methinks agents more deeply versed in primal lore have meddled here, the Asians, for a certainty. And if those servants of darkness are afoot, they will not stop at a single tribe. Such revelations... Seriously? Such revelations do much to explain my recent communications. Art thou prepared to struggle once more against the beastman god? I suppose. Quake me before you Ugomaro. The maelstrom has sent word of a mountain-shaking tremor felt by every man and beast in the north half of Ilbrand. I, the kobolds, have awoken the Lord of Craigs, and this shuddering arrival doth echo with the heightened strength shown by his sister Primal. Seek thee out, high Storm Commander Rashot Riki at Maelstrom Command and Limsalo Minsa. Thy path leads once more to the stony feet of Titan. Army of the Scions, glad am I to see you answer our desperate summons. As you have no doubt heard, the kobolds have, it seems, yet again called forth the primal titan within their mountain abode. The recent quaking of the land can be attributed to no other, and concerning the intensity of the tremor, we can be sure that Urianje's warnings concerning the enhanced power of the primals are far from idle. We Maelstrom officers would, of course, like not better than to shatter the belligerent old boulder ourselves, but we cannot risk losing our soldiers to tempering. Once again, we must turn to the seasoned veterans of the Scions. According to our readings, the rumblings are strongest in the naval titan's usual haunt within the Ugomaro mines. You should be able to enter the Primal's domain by reattuning to the beastman Etheric found within the kobold's territory in Outer Lanasia. After the previous defeat of their Great Father, you can wager they've recalibrated their crystal. May you crash against the stubborn rock with the fury of 1,000 waves. So, while I'm here, I'm finally gonna take care of something that's been bugging me in this area. Grand's company hunting log thing to do here. No, I think of the word. I just have to find 2 more. Somewhere. Come on, let's see. There's one in here. I'm making friends, as usual. Oh, I made friends with a priest. Handy. Seriously, it's been bugging me. I don't have this done. Just staring at me in the list every time I enter this area. There we go. That's more like it. Alright. The Naval Extreme is now accessible. So let's just preface this by the chance I die in this is very, 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 very high. Yeah, it's just one of the unfortunate things of only doing this to 2 people. Unfortunately. And one of the certain mechanics the Titan does. So, Titan Extreme, the very start of this fight is going to be very, very similar to Hard Mode Titan. In fact, it's going to be extremely similar to Hard Mode Titan until we're past his ultimate move. I mean, there's going to be a few differences, but not quite yet. Wait. He's gonna grab more of the platform at once! Yeah. Welcome to difference number 1 of Extreme. The platform gets even smaller. Oh yeah, difference number 2 of Extreme. Difference number 3, when he gals someone, it's doubled. If you are near each other, they have a high debuff. He is using Upheaval. Upheaval will do a knockback effect to anyone not in a gal. And these do eventually explode. It's kind of a solo thing they had to add in. Oh yeah, and that happens. It does a lot of damage. Like I said, it's very, very likely I die. So, yeah. So his landslides are now with more going on them. Yeah. The platform's even smaller. Am I still on? I'm still still on! Here's the heart. Heart's the same. This is like whatever. You can just murderize the heart. But yeah, so if the two people who are linked together, I believe it's a healer and DPS normally. If two people are linked together are too close, they have a vulnerability buff, so you do less damage to them. Oh, there's another gal. Of course, there's only one person. It's solo, and it does start to scratch the culture, which will eventually just explode, so that, you know, people can solo this fight much easier. So you want to make sure the two gals are basically across the arena from each other, but of course he's doing that upheaval at the same time. So the other people want to make sure they're by Titan and they're not breaking people out of the gals too fast. Anyways, we have ads! Ads and Titan, yes. These Grey Gallers will drop a goop puddle on the ground. This does a sludge effect as well as slowing you down. There's more boulders. They will be dropping in patterns, like so, with cross and in the corners, at the corners and the cross. The lines are still here. All that. He's still got those. I guess I could do this so we can actually see more of him. What he's doing here. Oh, we've got another gal going on. Thank God they made this much easier. So yeah, here's upheaval. Like I said, anyone not a gal would want to be next to Titan because that does a knockback, and obviously the platform is really freaking small. So the tank absolutely must be taking this at the edge. If you're taking the middle, people are going to fall off. You can use arm's length and surecast, the two knockback conventions for the different types for mage and physical. You can use those. Way of the land, but and now doing two in a row, and that'll do it on multiple people. Of course, it's not one person because it's 5. And he's also doing physical vulnerability up stacks on the tank. So this means that you would be wanting to do tank swaps normally with multiple tanks. Ew, that was scary. Also, there's going to be more landslides. There is one more formation of bombs we have not yet seen. Hopefully we will see them. It's gonna be... Oh, here we go. So this is the full arena of bombs. Oh my goodness, there's no safe spot. You can kill the middle one. Kill the middle one for a safe spot. Of course, you can continue on because obviously they're giving you time because, well, normally it would be level 50s doing this and it would take a while to do it. And now they're going to start exploding like so. So you want to go into that safe spot you created. Titan's going to jump down, do his thing, and go into a landslide apparently. Oh my gosh, from my perspective that was a little scary. Yeah, so Titan Extreme, like I said, very, very high chance I was gonna die just because of the gal mechanic. And of course the ads come back and we're now on a rinse repeat of Titan here. So it does take a moment. So here's the corners and going to the cross formation of these bombs. Oh, you can actually kill the other ones too, but normally you wouldn't. So it's Titan Extreme. Same thing. Never Q's and Duty Finder. If you really want to do it on level, use Party Finder and say you're doing it syncs. Because, oh my gosh, then at least you have people who are purposefully going into this nightmare. Oh, come on, game. And there's the ground. You know, I've never actually jumped down there. I'm going down. I don't think I've jumped down there on the LP. I'm going down! Ah! Of course, because we're not in the fight anymore, I just instantly warp back up to the top. Yeah. Normally you would die if you go down there, but because we're not in the fight, you don't die. Oh gosh. The next one. Titan display the most satisfying degree of destructive power. Intensifying effects of the ritual of foci are undeniable. Powerful though this incarnation was, the Primal's eventual defeat was not unexpected. The burgeoning strength shown by the Bringer of Light, however, has grown beyond reckoning. Such a demonstration of force serves us still. It invites even ever greater retaliation. Yes, as the light burns bright, so too are the shadows steeped deeper in darkness. So, back to Limsa. Oops, sorry. I, completely blinked. The rumblings have ceased. It seems that no matter how powerful the Lord of Craigs becomes, you and your companions are up to the task, yes? You found something adventurous in the navel. Is this bone? And such a grotesque design. Honestly, I will never understand the kobold's sense of aesthetics. You say you acquired a similar object after your battle with Garuda. We must consider the possibility that these trinkets are responsible for the Primal's appalling new strength. But I shall leave such conclusions to those more learned in the subject than I. Pray return to the waking sands and convey my greetings to Urianger. So the Lord of Craigs was also possessed of unprecedented vigor, and thou hast returned with yet another curiosity of bone. Kobolds are not known for fashioning objects in this manner. But what is more, its construction doth bear a striking similarity to that of the trophy recovered by thee from Garuda's lair. The fleshless remains of beastmen worshippers. This is the material common to both of those foreboding ritual tools. What unsavory sorcery are the paragons bequeathed to their unsuspecting pawns? There is yet another commonality to this augmentation of the primals that concerns me, and that is the Arya Ariana. For every mountain thou dost conquer, I am struck by the answering, waxing, and potency of the primals. The pattern is too clear to ignore. Gosh dang it! Such a cycle abodes not, but ill for the realm. I must unlock the true nature of these immortal entities ere the land is once more wrecked with ruin. And as always, thou art my stop in the gathering of the requisite keys. If it ain't broke! We are fortunate that the Lord of the Inferno hath yet to rear his horned head. I fear, however, that reports of his return will not be long in coming. My quest for knowledge yet remains unfinished, but such a task can only properly be undertaken in a world unracked by chaos. Let's bow to inevitability and prepare ourselves for what will undoubtedly turn into another blistering trial. Pray visit High Commander Swift at the Hall of Flames in Ul'dah and advise him that the fiery primal will likely soon be among us once more. Mayhap with a measure of foresight we can lessen the impact of Ifrit's arrival. Lieutenant Ariana, your timing is most fortunate. Allow me to brief you on the situation. Both Maelstrom and the Order of Twin Ether informed us of our recent troubles with disturbingly powerful primals, and as these incidents ever occur in threes, we immediately sought to gather intelligence on Amalshah activity. We lost contact with the first reconnaissance party assigned to the task, and then deployed one of our elite units to learn the fate of the missing scouts, but they also have failed to report back. In their most recent missive, my elite troops declared their intention to investigate the Bowl of Embers. Though they may have been overwhelmed by the lizard men, we consider the possibility that the Lord of the Inferno has reclaimed this domain. It is with some measure of wounded pride that I must request your aid. Assemble a group of your companions and strike into the heart of Amalshah territory in southern Thanalan. If Ifrit has indeed returned, you are to banish him back to the Aether by whatever means is necessary. You will likely have to renew your bond with the Zaharak Aetherites to enter the Bowl of Embers. The lizardmen have undoubtedly realigned their crystals since you last failed their god, and unfortunately that means cutting your way through a goodly number of their centuries to reach it. Or just fly over. The Grand Captain of the Immortal Flames is no stranger to sacrifice when it comes to battling the primals, but the struggle costs far too many lives and often creates a host of new tempered enemies. You and your unique talents, however, can spare the families of our soldiers that grieve. I will pass on news of your involvement in this mission to the Scions myself. Should our primal fears prove substantiated, then I pray your efforts meet with success. You know what it means. You know what all this means. Ifrit's back. Ball of Embers Extreme is now available. Like I said... Oh, so... Ifrit Extreme. They had to make each one of these the hardest one, right? And of course, Ifrit's the hardest one of the three this time. Despite being the easiest the last 2 times. So, let's just say the TLDR on this fight is that you have to care about the nails. There's more nails, there's more dashes, there's more area of effects, there's more debuffs. There's more nails. And there's more nails. There's more nails. I don't know if I mentioned it, but there's more nails. And, by the way, there's more nails. So Ifrit is going to open up with a swipe attack. So we're kind of doing a little bit wonky here, so I don't get smacked by it. So this is one of his new attacks, Infernal Howl. Searing Wind, ignited by white hot embers and scorching those nearby. Sustain fire damage over time. So here's our first round of nails. Yes, first round. We barely started the fight and we're already dealing with nails. So... wow. So yeah, every time a nail is defeated, it does a vulnerability up stat. So you do not want to kill these all at the same time. That's really bad to do, actually, because that would do a lot of pressure onto your healers, because this is a big healer pressure sort of thing. Obviously, yes, eruptions are happening. Yes, I am, like, not even commenting on them right now. So, we are already into Hellfire at 76%. Yeah, I'm gonna move over here just in case. Yeah, the feeling. So, Radiant Plumes are now going to take up almost the entire battlefield. There's going to be one safe spot. One. I accidentally just opened up the orchestration list. Ow. Oh, dashes. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, so dashes have a wider attack area on him. I, like, completely misjudged where he was going to be dashing. And... doing Infernal Howl, Searing Wind, so yeah. Also, he's going to Supernition, which is lowering some maximum HP here. That. Ow, that is starting to hurt. Really starting to hurt. Yeah, obviously you would normally have like a healer helping deal with the fact that that really hurts. So now they still have Virus of Judgment. We are in Nails round 2 fight. And yes, there's more nails. Also, there's now a tether. Unlike most out tethers in this game, this tether actually wants to be close to each other to take out less damage. I tried. I fought so hard. I tried so hard. I fought so long. In the end, I still died. So yeah, the tethers. Normally tethers you need to go apart to break them when they're chains like that. But this one you have to be close to take less damage, and God forbid you're tethered to the tank. Alright, here is another Hellfire, so fun story! Before they put in the invincibility triggers for these, you could kill the nails so fast, or you could kill Ifrit so fast that you would push him into literally spamming Hellfire because you didn't kill the nails enough. Yeah, it was death, basically. By fun story, I meant not fun at all. Like, absolutely not fun at all. No, not a single bit of fun to be found here. None at all. So yeah, we have a lot of nails happening right now. With more vulnerability up stacks and more kabooms. And yeah, obviously if you kill all of these at once, then it's really a lot of pressure on the healers. And you got this really big one, which you really want to go for last. It has more HP. And we've got Hellfire again. So yeah, he would just go into a loop of Hellfire, 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 Hellfire. Yeah, you could damage him, but you were taking so much damage from Hellfire, you couldn't win. In most cases. That's kind of anticlimactic. I guess because I was dead? I don't know. At any rate. Darn. No luck. No luck. Ithra was reborn with the same strength of 1,000 raging infernos, and yet you vanquished him. Not for you not but praise, bringer of light. Ever prepared for confrontation? Good. Those instincts serve us as well as they serve you. What meaning hides within this constant pursuit of ever greater strength? Have you paused to dwell on its significance? However you might choose to justify your actions, it seems you have tested the very limits of these 3 primal avatars. Again, such a furious response. Did we not make ourselves clear? As amusing as such might prove, we do not come to trade blows with you. This meeting is at an end. We must thank you for a most enlightening display. We have learned much. The destiny we seek draws closer, ever closer. How much longer can you stem the tide of darkness, bringer of light? How well will you fare against the next god to reawaken? So we're going to do things in a little bit of a slightly different order here. We are going to go to Ul'dah first, but before I go back to Urianger after that, because you know we're going back to Urianger after we go to Ul'dah, right? It's just a given. But, yeah, I'm going to go somewhere else besides Urianger after Ul'dah. So the Infernal Primal had returned after all. It is well that you set out to prepare for the worst. Come now, Lieutenant Ariana. You must describe your epic encounter in detail that we might revise our tactics for future engagements. Any information could prove useful. Well, now this is an ominous relic. While the Amajah are known for their barbaric trinkets, I sense something is different about this one. I see. So it's a third such object you have recovered within the domain of a primal. It certainly seems feasible that it played a role in Ifrit's enhanced volatility. Return with your trophy to the Waking Sands and pray bid Urianger to continue his investigations. Our eternal gratitude to you both. So, like I said before, I go back to Urianger. Let's make a trip to Raven's home. Oh, hey. You, easy now, friend. I'll not raise the alarm. I'm not fool enough to believe the rumors. That said, I cannot well let you pass. Orders are orders. Literally cannot enter. The ultimate ballad. Your reputation precedes you, Arya. In fact, it's for that reason that I'd like to introduce you to someone. That minstrel at the end of the bar wandered in here the other day. Said he was seeking inspiration for a new ballad? The sort only an adventure of distinction could provide. Who better than the woman who saved the world to give this minstrel the stories he seeks, eh? Humor the gentleman, I say. Dawn may have banished even the darkest night, yet ever shall primal desires burn. 2 swords shall vie to lay them low, a blade born of light, and a blade forged of might. Last man trust his fate unto but one. Must you wonder? These are the words from Archon Louisoix. While not written as poetry, I find poetry within them nonetheless. Years ago, when I arrived in this land, I was beset with peril day and night, forced to endure countless trials which tested my mind, body, and my faith. And I am not ashamed to admit that I would have faltered had it not been for the help of a handful of nameless adventurers, honest men and women who proffered the hand of friendship to a weary soul and led him safe from the darkness. When I look upon you, I'm reminded of them. I can tell that you are well-traveled and possess of both constancy and character. You're a woman of the adventuring profession, yes? I seek a valiant hero whose deeds might serve as inspiration. I have reason to believe I have found her. After all, was it not you who faced Gaius von Baelsar and his elegant weapon? You must tell me everything that happened, omit nary a single detail, I beg of you. Truly a tale worthy of legend, and so eerily it matches the writings of Archon Louisoix. 2 swords shall vie to lay them low, a blade born of light and a blade forged of might. Alas, man may entrust his fate unto but one. The Black Wolf was a conqueror who aspired to rule through might, and the weapon was key to his ambitions. Yet in the end, the people of Eorzea trusted their fates to a brilliant blade, the Warrior of Light. A rather fitting moniker, in my humble opinion. Thank you. At last I found the inspiration I sought, about to decide the fate of the realm. The words, the notes, I feel them coming together. Your tale, Arya, Ariana, your song. From an era long forgotten, a blade of midnight drawn, from a distant land uncharted, a warrior who bears the dawn. Ultima's Bane Ballad, composed. So, let's make a trip on over to Urianger. The report from the immortal flames hath flown back before thee. Dost thou return once more, bearing a curious tool of ritual magics? Yes, it doth most closely resemble the others in form, and I dare say in function. The bone is, of course, Amalja in origin. The servants of darkness reveal themselves to thee. I am put in mind of Archon Louisoix's words. Yet ever shall primal desires burn, for burn they shall, with the Astians ever toiling to stoke the fires. We are fortunate their careless taunting hath provided us with certainty, where before there existed only conjecture. It is unfortunate, however, that thy actions serve the Astian's purpose so well. Whenever thou slayest our primal foes, the beastmen seek to raise ever more ferocious gods. And now it seems their ceaseless ambitions are answered only by living sacrifice. Each ritual object thou didst recover is a manner of focus, a tool fashioned from the bones of a willing worshipper. These foci contain the vast etheric power generated by the fervent prayers of Beastman Zealot in the moment of his death. This power was then poured into each primal during the rite of summoning, thus giving rise to the augmented avatar thou didst engage. To free us from the threat of the primals in truth, we must needs discover an escape from this endlessly escalating cycle of conflict. Such an answer will not, I fear, be readily attainable. So as long as understanding eludes us, there is no recourse but to continue with the slaying of primals. The aether they invariably hoard must be released back into the land. As the beastman deities wax ever more potent, it is a sad necessity that the nurturing of thine own strength cannot be ignored. An action art thou must take, even though it doth quicken the plans of the paragons. When the passage to inexorable might hath ever been the pursuit of sturdy arms and armor, and in that endeavor I may be able to assist thee. Whew. Take it for this. Okay. So before we do that one, technically this was first, but Ultima's Bane. So yeah, Ultima gets its own extreme. Except you'll notice it's called the Minstrel's Ballad. That's because it is different. It's not a primal. It's just a trial with an extreme version. So let's see if I can not die horribly here. So as he attacks, he's going to occasionally be hitting the tank with a debuff. If this gets to 5, it will supposedly result in instant death. However, it actually just a high amount of damage. At level 50, it's instant death, okay? We'll just put it that way. So, as you damage him, he will lose a primals, much like in the original Phase 1, whatever, Ultima fight. So, he's using the attacks of the primals. I saw he did the Garuda, he just did Ifrit Titan. We're currently working to try and get rid of a Titan. They are HP based, so just lost Titan there. Now that just leaves Ifrit, I believe Ifrit will kick around to about 50%. Here's the Eruptions. See, I kind of figured doing this after the main 3 would probably be the best course of action. You know, I probably could go into this fire. Tank Purge, so this is just a basic AoE like it was originally. And homing lasers, and here comes Ifrit with some dashes, of course. What else did you expect from Ifrit? Jeez. There is Ifrit again. I'm gonna chill out over here. And there goes Ifrit. So now we're into Ultima Weapon proper. He's going to be using Etheric Boom. This is going to put these out onto the field. Ow! I can barely take those. So need to intercept those. If they touch, it's death. He will just die. He will do this 3 times. Normally, if you do this synced, on the 3rd time, the tank will want to limit break them. So he's also going to be bringing out the Magitech bits, much like he did in the original fight. I got hit by something. So yeah, much like in the original fight, also much like in the original fight, he is going to do these, gosh, proximity AoEs. I couldn't think of the name. Proximity AoEs, where if further away you take less damage. So he should be doing the 2nd Etheric Boom here soon. So So every time he does this, it gets harder and harder to do. So this time you'll see that there are more of them. Oh, come on. Yeah, you'll see there's more of them. And that one set of them was even closer together. So now there's more bits around. Yeah. But we are nearing the third Etheric boom. This is really the big test. Like, yeah, getting to this part is like, whatever. Surviving the third Etheric boom with a group of random level 50s is the true test of this fight. Because also being able to tank swap properly is a true test of this fight. Because it's like one of your persons actually having to tank swap. So here it comes, the third Etheric boom. This is where a tank would normally want to break in. Whoa, look at that! They're all super close together! Oh my goodness! Yeah. Ooh, that does a lot of damage. Holy heck. I guess it's not death if you're level 80. Yeah. I don't know if you all can tell, but I've done this a few too many times synced because of stuff. But that is Ultima's Bane, Ultima Extreme, whatever you wish to call it. So I will have to return back to Revenant's Toll to turn that in at some point. But go ahead, crack open the chest. Oh, hey, we got beta copy. So the beta copies are synthesis item to make the proper orchestrations for alchemists. Hopefully it does it automatically port me back to Revenant's Toll. That'd be really the way, actually. Freaking frick-frack. It did. That might be my best work yet. Was it not just as you remember, Arya? No. Come now, was the harm in a little exaggeration? I only changed a few details for dramatic effect. And even if I had not, others would have done so eventually. 'Tis the nature of every story to grow with each telling. No, it's on you. Ah! It's that one. So that quest, that's to unlock Second Coil of Bahamut Savage, which is the original difficulty version of it. You know what? No, I'm not walking back. I'm using the Etheric ticket. Jerks. To tussle with gods. If thou art to weather these constant clashes against ever more potent primals, then thou must perforce arm thyself with extraordinary weapons. I have concluded negotiations with one Rowena, merchant who doth abide at Revenant's Toll. In exchange for the ritual objects thou hast collected, she hath promised to provide thee with a selection from her stock of unique armaments. Why would she consent to purchase these unsavory trophies? It is a simple question of infamy. Certain of her clientele are like to salivate at the very thought of possessing such forbidden items. There are few who can lay claim to the ownership of a ritual tool employed in the summoning of a primal. There is no cause for alarm. Any power the objects once held has long since been surrendered to the summoned deities, and unless thou worry on my account, I have gleaned from them what wisdom we require. I return to thee thy hard-won prizes. Heidi to Revenant's told Mordona and see them swiftly to ruin his hand. I was just there. I am not going back again. The king lives! Amongst Mooglekind, the legend of good King Mog XII thought tell of a wise and magnanimous ruler. Alas, the entity thus summoned put the lie to this imagining with his brief and decidedly unpeaceful reign. 'Twas most disturbing for me to learn, then, that the Mongols' guard have once more succeeded in placing their manic potentate upon his thorny throne. Only with the Ascians' guileful intervention could they have called the king back from the Aether with such haste. I am afeard that, as was the case with Ifrit and his primal ilk, the ritual thus employed had the power of the Avatar with a strength far beyond that of his previous incarnation. As ever, it falls to thee, to the blade born of light, to banish the Paragon's dark ambition from our realm. 12s only know what dire power doth corrupt the savior of these gentle forest folk. Thy name has been called Arya. The more moderate faction of the Moogles hath joined with the Order of the Twin Adder in an effort to open thee a path to the good king's domain. I bid thee make haste to the Adder's Nest, and once more pledge thine aid in deposing this royal myth made flesh. Let me tell you how tempted I am to take a rest of this quest right now. Alright. I have to take a small break to hopefully deal with those yawns. We'll see. Alright, the Scions, glad I am to see you. I assume you've been apprised of the situation regarding the Moogle monarch. After your previous deposal of the king, Kublai approached the Mongols' guard and attempted to convince them of the error of their ways. Unfortunately, it appears his efforts at persuasion had rather the opposite effect. Royal sentries reportedly flew into a frenzy and focused their righteous indignation into a new summoning ritual. Mayhap it was the unwavering intensity of the Mongols' guard prayers, but the king has returned to the forest enveloped in an almost blinding aura of majesty. Kublai tells us that this dauntingly maniacal avatar is now taken to calling himself Great King Mog XII. Suffice it to say that the Elder Seed Seer is willing to condone the necessary act of regicide. For safety of all who dwell within the 12's wood, it has been decided that the king must fall. A certain member of the Elder Seed Seer's personal guard has already escorted Kublai to the ward that shields the monarch's domain. Those among us with the ability to see Moogles are often in high demand, but considering the urgency of your mission, our leader felt it best to expedite matters. Pray make your preparations, and so, as soon as you are able, Kublai awaits you in the Bramble Patch at the East Shroud. Man, I love flying. Oh, I knew you'd come at last! I was hoping, Kublai! Not long ago, I had a stern word with the Mongols guard about the dangers of turning pleasant fairy tales into disturbing reality, but I insisted that the intimidating force, that is good King Mog XII, may a scepter of judgment ever command our respect, is exactly the sort of savior we need. The Mongols guard are afraid, Kublai, afraid of how the forest has changed, afraid of the never-ending conflict, afraid that we Moogles have no place in this new world. I am scared of all of those things too, but the thought of unleashing a royal mass upon the Tall's Wood scares me even more, Kublai. Please, you must deal with them firmly before this goes too far. A measured thrashing, of course, nothing too brutal. You can enter a thorn march here, through the terror I've made in the war. Take care of good fortune. In the meantime, I'll go let the others know that the good King Mog XII may his reign end with minimal bloodshed. We'll be vacating his throne. Goodbye. So I noticed that we unlocked it by finishing the quest this time. Yeah, I think they started to realize, like, and we don't need as much story with these. Well, you know, let's go ahead and... Oh, I already feel yawn. What the actual heck is going on here? Let's go ahead to Undersized Party and do this thing. into the cutscene this time. Yeah, slight difference. We start with Good King Mog this time. Yeah. So, let's go ahead and work on beating up Good King Mog here for a little bit. Oh, let's go to the arms! Your king has need of you! So, yeah, he summons the Moogle guard this time. So, the big thing about this particular one is we need to evenly kill the Moogles. That is the big gimmick of... Ah! I didn't mean to kill! Yeah, so you need to kill them because once you kill, or you need to evenly kill them because once you kill one, Good King Mog starts healing them and reviving them, and he'll only do this twice. On the third time, he will be doing his enrage. So, yeah, ow, that hurt. So, that was the second revive there. So, this time, let's go ahead and just kind of murderize them all down. So, yeah, with the healer and the mage one, or the healer and the black mage one, you need to, you can hit them, interrupt her special ability, which you really want to do, and you'll notice the Good King Mog is preparing Memento Moogle. This is his enrage. If you don't kill him before he finishes the cast, it is a wipe. And that's the gist of Thorn March Extreme. Kind of the opposite of fact of really the normal one. And that you have to... You start with the king and the subjects serve to damage him. Because he sacrifices his life to heal them, yada yada. I don't even know why I'm gonna check this, but I am. Ribbon of healing. Meh. So, I need to go make a trip over to... whatchamacallit? Our good friend the Waking Sands. Hello again, Uriange. I am gonna have to find the Ramu quest. But to minimize trips back here, let's go ahead and grab the rest of this quest. Primal Gear. Friend to the dawn, hear my plea. Tidings most ominous arrive from Gridania. Primal walketh the shroud. Those who have borne the eldritch spirit witness and return to tell the tale. A vow that never before they seen its like. The gods' quiver doth investigate as we speak, and beseems Lord Lewin would welcome a capable adventurer's helping hand. Pray hie thee to the seat of the first bow, and shine thy light upon the matter. Whirl of a time. The lord of the world, slain at thy hand, 'twas a deed both heroic and historic, a tale to be told down the ages. I fear, however, that the terror of the indigo deep did slumber but briefly in the ethereal sea. The maelstrom hath assured me with unhappy certitude that Leviathan doth stir from the abyss once more. Should this indeed prove the case, then we face a most troubling and chilling predicament. The lord of the world is a voracious being, with naught less than a treasure trove of crystals would serve to lure the entity back to our plane of existence. 'Tis folly then to believe that the sea-bound beastman could gather such a haul with such impossible alacrity. No, we must assume the Sahagin have adopted the disturbing new ceremony ritual we observed among the other beast tribes. A threat of unprecedented magnitude now loometh over Limsa. Take thee the swiftness to Maelstrom command and offer thy stalwart service. Thy shining light must needs illuminate the oceans that darken this swell. And finally, drop dead Shiva. By thy high deeds were the people of Querthus spared certain doom at the hands of a deiform entity. Yet if the missives we have received from Lord Rolmond of House Durandare speaketh true, 'twould seem that the hard-won respite hath come and gone. Recovered from her wounds, the Lady Iceheart hath rejoined in the struggle against Ishgard. Worse 'tis said that her disciples have already laid claim to a hoard of crystals. A hoard far exceeding the quantity, but recently wrested from the caravans of House Forton. 'Tis all but certain that the heretic's mistress intendeth to call upon Saint Shiva once more. And so, once more, must Eorzea's blade of light be brought to bear against the primal. None save thee hath might enough to defeat such a foe. 'Tis for this reason that Lord Rolmond hath requested thy presence at White Rim Front. Pray hie thee thither with all haste. So, Rini, what in the world order are you going to be doing this in? Well, first trip is going to be to Limsa, I did believe. Ari of the Scions, you are, as ever, a welcome sight at Maelstrom Command. Our worst fears are realized. The Primal Leviathan has returned to threaten our shores. Where'd my mouse go? We did not think it possible for the Fishvex to summon their rapacious god without a considerably longer period of preparation, but there can be no mistake. Prior to contacting Orion J, we received a report detailing the almost complete destruction of a merchant fleet upon the open sea. Only one vessel managed to limp into port, bearing the undecidedly unwelcome news of Leviathan's resurgence. Judging by the testimony given by the surviving crew members, the massive waves the entity leveled against the ship dwarfed anything we have ever seen the Primal Command before. Should he unleash a tidal wave of similarly empowered proportions, Limsa would be scraped from this island like a barnacle from a hull. It is with such dread imaginings in mind that I bid you sail forth to slay the Lord of the World yet again. Our strategy remains unchanged as when Vest of the War Leader is already being prepared under the command of Storm Marshal Slafsbrun. Make your way to the Morbi dry docks. Once your own preparations are complete, seek out Sergeant Sternlona, and she will see you safely aboard the ship. May the Navigator guide and protect you. Storm Sergeant Sternlona at your service. The War Leader is loaded and ready, madam. I'll get the signal for the towering vessel to depart as soon as you're aboard. Leviathan was sighted some distance from the coast, so there should be more than enough time to build up to ramming speed. The entire crew is willing to lay down their lives to ensure you reach your target, madam, so you just concentrate on skewering that overgrown sea serpent. How about we don't have people dying on my behalf? I would prefer that, honestly. Alright, so Leviathan Extreme, both things look similar, right? Right? Yeah. You trespass upon the domain, tainted of the light. Yeah, so everything's similar here. We still have to do stupid nonsense for positionals. And he's still gonna go under, he's still gonna tilt the boat. It's still going the same way first. It's still going to be a ranged magic split between the head and the tail. Yeah. Oh, hey, look, the ads. So the ads, you actually want to really, really pay attention to them this time, ideally. Because otherwise, bad things happen. Like that. So if you walk into that, yeah, you go insane, basically. And also, he's putting on this briny mirror effect. And you can remember who uses a healing spell or action versus the briny veil status. So let's boom their back. We, of course, want to beat them. And I didn't save my thing. And you'll notice that effect is very, very, very persistent and sticking around. Yeah. The elemental converter is now available, and as soon as he dives under, you want to be using it. He will dive across the ship like so, and you will use Tidal Wave on us. The relics have been destroyed! Welcome to Extreme! You can fall off the boat! Yeah, that's the gimmick this time. You can fall off. So, that means you have to be really, really paying attention in terms of which way he is going to bump the boat. Or rock the boat, I guess is the correct term here. So, another thing he's going to be using... Build World... Unless that was the old one. You definitely still want to be paying attention to the ads. And the spoons are back! Why, pray tell, are they back? We have to activate the thing again. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's too annoying for me to get around. It's slow. Ow! Okay, we are not playing with the tail. That hurts. So Elemental Converter is once again accessible. I am so dead. I am so dead. So yes, he is using it once more. Ow! Dang it. So he is going to rock the boat again. And also you can use arm's length to make sure you don't fall. And I'm going to fall, and this is what happens when you fall. So, that's Leviathan Extreme! You can fall off the boat! And there's a bunch more status ailments, and there's like some orbs that'll chase people, and a bunch of other nonsense. Yeah. Yeah, I've done this thing. It's not fun. It's not fun to do this one synced. So, hey! M-bar whistle! So these can drop mounts! Yep, these can drop mounts. Oh man. Thank God we don't farm this one, honestly. I'll be honest, I was not looking forward to farming Leviathan. I was really not looking forward to farming Leviathan for that mount. Where in the heck is the quest for Romeo? That's the next one on my list. Okay, they were sneaky about this one. It got stuck under the marker for the XIV Beast tribe. Judgment bolts and lightning. Wolf, isn't the Slayer of Ramu come to see me in the flesh? How fortunate that you should happen by. I was in fact on the verge of sending a runner to track you down. We've had some troubling news from the Silos of Little Solos. It appears that the Lord of Levin walks the Twelveswood yet again. I understand that the other Seed Seer's explanation. Your last encounter with the Primal was a relatively peaceful affair. There was a battle, aye, but one of which Ramu did not begrudge your victory. Why then has he returned to the forest? 'Tis you, Arya, whom fate has chosen to uncover the answer to that question. It seems that Phrixia, the Sylph Elder, would discuss the matter with you. personally speak with Alexia and Little Souls, and she will announce your arrival to their leader. And I would also consider it a favor if you could pass along you learn to the Scions. As I understand, the Archon Urion J is a skiing scholar in the field of all matters primal. Pray make your final report to him. But the whole point of this was to not have to go back there. Alright, well, I'm in Gridania anyway. Let's go ahead and make a little trip over to the Archers Guild. Alright, hello, seat of the first bow. Ariana, I have heard much of your deeds from recent days. You come to lend your strength to the Primal investigation. Yes, your aid is most welcome. Who was that man in black? I shall proceed directly to the matter at hand, though still unsubstantiated. Ill rumors stir amongst the town people of late. Rumors of a shadow-clad knight who rides in the shroud. Under normal circumstances, I would pay such idle ghost stories little heed. This time, however, we have reason to suspect. But we have naught to gain by rushing to judgment. I would have you go to the streets, Ariana. Speak with the people and hear their words with your own ears. I run right past someone. The Ghost Knight? I saw him clad from head to toe in armor that seemed forged from shadow itself, galloping through the shroud atop his Heavensward steed. Mark my words, the trees themselves were quivering in fear that night. I have not slept a wink since I returned. And hello. Yes, I saw the Black Knight, after which I promptly fled for my dear life. Should you end up in my position, you'd be wise to do the same. I have my pride, but I'm not fool enough to cast my life away. Besides, one look was enough to know this is a manifestation of pure evil. Were he to turn that massive sword against Gridania, all of our lances as one could not hope to stand in his way. Don't sneak up on me like that, friend! Forgive me, ever since espying a glimpse of that ghastly horseman, my heart won't stop racing. I knew the elementals would punish us sooner or later for daring to disobey their will. This is surely a sign of sinister happenings to come. I saw him clear as day, or clear as night, you might say, with me own two eyes. More fearsome than the rider was his ghastly steed. I know not where you've traveled, but I can assure you've not seen more. Frightened the beast. One thing I can tell you, friend, that was no spectre or shadow. Nah, he was as solid as you or me. And back we go. A knight clad in shadow-forged armor, a mammoth sword, and Heavensward steed. It is clear now our worst forebodings have proven most unfortunately prescient. The Dark Divinity. A ghostly knight atop his baleful steed. It is, as I feared, the rumors bear a most inauspicious resemblance to the references in ancient scripture describing Odin, the Dark Divinity. It is my suspicion that the Dark Horseman of rumor is indeed Odin, and furthermore that this malevolent presence is a primal. And yet, before the god's quiver takes action, I would seek the counsel of one versed in the holy writings. Make for quarry mill and seek out brother Opsy. I was trying not to say Pepsi. I would know what he knows. And be swift, Ariana. If Odin has truly come to the shroud, time is not on our side. So, we have two things to go out into the shroud. So, first things first is Little Soulless. Walking One is here! Has Walking One heard of Lord Ramu's return? Then this one need not to explain. Walking One should wait here while this one fetches Elder One. Walking One is most welcome in these one's home. The gentle sighs of winds and trees and brooks told these ones of Walking One's peaceful words with the Lord Ramu. These ones also heard that Thunderous One challenged Walking One to battle. This one is certain that Lord Ramu was pleased with Walking One's strength. And such strength Walking One has. Arrow-shooting ones often tell grand tales of Walking One, and these ones are glad to call Walking One friend. But this one must warn Walking One. Touch ones have summoned Lord Ramu once more, and this time with an offering of many, many more crystals. This one does not think Thunderous One needs to bring judgment to Gridania. After all, Lord Ramu made a special promise to Walking One. It is the intentions of touch ones that concern this one. Touch ones yet act in fear and in hate. Even should Lord Ramu ignore touch one's destructive wishes, his presence alone drains the land of ether. It is not just Gridania, but the entire realm the Thunderous One threatens. Life will seep from the soil, crops will wither and die, then through Lord Ramu will it otherwise, walking ones will go to war over what remains. This one begs brave and courageous one to fight again. Touch ones must understand that summoning Thunderous One is futile. The Thunderous One respects the strength of Walking One. Thank you! This one knew Walking One would do the right thing. Walking One knows how to visit the striking tree, touch the Etheric found in the domain of Touch Ones, and Walking One will soon be face to beard with Lord Ramu. These ones will listen to the forest voices for news of Walking One's victory. Alright. Yeah, we are gonna have to go out to Urianjay. So much for minimal trips that I was hoping to plan back to Urianjay. Seriously? Seriously? Why would you be mean to me like this? Yep, and here we go again. Ramu. Normally what would happen with Ramu is... Let me pull up the waymarks here. You would want to stack down here. By doing this, you will deal with a very specific mechanic. Also, the water's now electrified, and you'll notice the orbs are appearing already. So chaos hits multiple people. Eventually, you will be seduced towards Ramu, and yeah. Normally, you would want to stack the people down this marker down here to deal with that. However, because we are low manning this and I would otherwise get destroyed, I'm not going to do that. So, there's more arbiters this time, and I am going to avoid going into the water because I would like to not be completely deleted here. Oh, well, I got completely deleted anyway. So yeah, you have to kill all of these arbiters this time. Obviously, if you don't do it in time, then Ramu will pull out the full strength Judgment Bolt. And you do want to stay out of the water as much as possible. So, the orbs, in this phase 2, they're still going to be the tethering. However, the tank is going to be wanting to grab these orbs for his tank busters, like the one he just did there. This is because These orbs do reduce lightning damage. So the tanks are going to want to make sure they have at least one or two. But of course, you do want to make sure there are enough up for people who get the tether. And of course, the only one person actually has to grab it. And he is going to have the arbiters kind of floating around instead of them actually coming to the arena. And they are going to be doing the shots of lightning across the field. And that's the basic around the stream. Seems simple, right? Yeah, except that part where you have to stay out of the water and you have to coordinate with people and you have to keep people in that one spot and yeah, good luck doing that with random people. Have I mentioned to never, ever do these in Duty Finder? Boo! We have to farm it! Oh, come on! That name's back to Orion J. Deal with that later. Let's go to Quarry Mill because we're gonna do it in this order. It seems to be the best order, I guess. I am Opsy. I still can't do it without saying wine, say Pepsi. And you must be the adventurer I've been expecting. Ah, yes, Odin, the dark divinity. Boldar Lewin is understandably distressed at his arrival. As one who has read the scriptures, however, I am not entirely surprised. Odin, as the ancient writings have it, rode forth into a world wielding a dark blade capable of cleaving earth and the heavens. By his fell blade did perish earth herself and countless multitudes of her people. At long last, the great hero of Alec did arise to do battle with the dark god. Odin was slain, and his spirit sealed within a forest spring. For years, this was thought to be a mere wives' tale, a ghost story told by mothers to frighten their young ones into obedience. But recent archaeological studies at Alec ruins have unearthed damning evidence to the contrary, and now these rumors. Scriptures claim that the dark divinity slumbers and there is found deep in the heart of the shroud, where the power of a crystal confines him. I have ventured into the forest and seen the crystal with my own eyes, but this was many years ago. It is entirely within the realm of possibility that something has gone terribly awry, and the feathers of crystal confine the dark divinity no longer. I will send you the Earthbound to investigate the matter, but be forewarned, your path will not be an easy one. Should any evil spirit stand in your way, this water of cleansing should avail you. AKA, they are not gonna let me just fly. Actually, no, they are just gonna let me fly over there. Cool. Cool. Hello! The last of the Alligans. I don't know about that. I do not know about that one. This has a lot of... Oh, you know it has a lot of HP because I didn't use the water of cleansing. Oops. Here I was beating it down the hard way. Oopsie. Oopsie. Alright. Oh, back to Oh Pepsi. I've given up trying not to say it. The crystalline gal that held the dark divinity in check, were you able to ascertain what has become of it? Magical energy still remains in the stone, though its powers have grown dim. What's more, behold, now the stone has been clear in twain by Odin's fell blade. There can be no doubt. Yes, there can be no doubt as to the identity of our unwelcome guest. And yes, it is almost curious if the dark divinity rides free. Why does he tarry in the shroud? Any road, you are to be commended for your bravery, adventurers. Simi is preparing a report on this very matter as we speak. I'd be most grateful if you could share your findings with her as well. So they are up there. Thank goodness we're flying. Oh hey, and here's our Leviathan mount. So it does play the Phase 2 music, and it's all like glowy and has special effects on it. And the Realm Reborn series are ponies. So as indeed as we fear, the seal of Earth's fountain has been broken and the Dark Divinity rides again. I must drop a report immediately. Just gonna take the gold tooth. All you wanted to know about Odin. Your assistance in the investigation has proven a valuable adventure. You have our thanks. With your aid, I have finally managed to complete my report, a thorough survey of all eyewitness reports, along with the most credible theories regarding the Dark Divinity's presence in the Shroud. I intend to deliver copies of the report to Brother Pepsi and both Lord Lewin myself. Silence too will no doubt be eager to learn of our findings. I would be most appreciative if you could deliver a copy to Urion J in my stead. My duties demand that I remain composed, but in all truth, I fear for the fate of our people. Should the time come that the Dark Divinity draws its blade against Gridania, promise me that we can count on your aid. So, I'm actually gonna wait to return. I'm gonna go ahead and head to Dragonhead. My gratitude for your timely return, Arya, that it were under better circumstances. Our efforts to contain the heretic threat in the Western Highlands beyond Snowcloak have suffered a grievous setback. In order to support expeditions further afield, we sought to establish an outpost in the heretic's former fortress. Under guard, our craftsmen began the necessary improvements, and for a time all proceeded according to plan. The building work had scarce begun when Iceheart's minions descended upon the fortress from all directions. If I were to guess, I would say that they deliberately delayed their attack until sufficient supplies had been delivered to their doorstep. I did not begrudge my men their decision to flee. By all accounts, it would have been a slaughter. Any survivors condemned to a fate worse than death at the hands of their leader. However, by abandoning our crystal stores, we have given the heretics the means to summon their patron saint. I beseech you, Arya, slayer of the gods, beastmen who banished once before the demon who threatens us now, lend us your strength, infiltrate Snowcloak, and put an end to Iceheart's machinations. Thank you, my friend, though I pray you can stop her before she completes her ritual. I have faith you can defeat Shiva, should it come to that. Once one of Sir Amarik's temple knights awaits you at Snowcloak. He shall guide you through secret tunnels to the Etheric at the heart of the heretics' fortifications, whence you may gain entrance to Iceheart's sanctuary as before. It is an honor, madam. When you are ready, I shall lead you through the tunnels to the Etheric. We should not be troubled by heretics or beasts along the way, so you may concentrate solely on the task at hand. May the Fury grant you the strength to strike down that heathen witch once and for all. Alright, so let's go ahead and just do this now, I guess. Shiva Extreme. Oh boy. So, those who have taken the sword shall perish by the sword. So she is going to be doing the weapon switching thing like in the normal version. And rather to defend my blade, she's going to start out apparently by going into sword. The first thing she does when she uses the sword is she uses what's called a shared tank buster. And we are on to the ads now. Oh, is she going to do the solo take buster, or is she going to switch weapons? She is going to stick on sword. So yeah, normally you would want to split that amongst all the party members, but of course I would kind of just get murderized should I want to simply do that. She does eventually do a solo tank buster if she stays in sword long enough, which she tends to do if you get her into sword during the ad phase. Why is she not switching? She normally does it faster than this. Why is she not doing anything but sword? What the heck, Shiva? There she goes. This is a fun thing to do during this. So we actually get to hear the song this time. Yay! So, welcome to phase 2. So first thing she's gonna do is these ice circles, which are gonna do a vulnerability down if you are in them when they fall. There's also gonna be this. And the arena is once again frozen. Using staff. We are having to be a little bit careful this time around just because she can be scary. Zero, is she gonna swap here soon? Alright. So now she's gonna do it in a pattern like so. I'm going to run around in a circle like a doofus. And then she's gonna freeze it and put thin ice, which means if you move, you are going to be sliding all over the damn place. So she's switching to bow. Bow makes her use blast dance. You want to be right behind her when she does this, because blast dance is very, very painful. She also, and yes, they did it. They did it. Another thing she has is she does have a knockback laser beam. You can arm's length / sure cast this as long as you use it early enough upon getting the marker. I really hope we don't have to farm Shiva. We have to farm Shiva. Gosh, dang it. Oh, that sucks. We have to farm Shiva. I forgot to show the snowman in there! There's a snowman in Shiva's field, and I haven't shown it yet. Alright, back to the Lord that drew them on. Praise alone for your safe return. All here, pray for your success, Arya. Tell us, have our prayers been answered? Even stronger than before, you say? Then we are truly fortunate for your intervention. You would be wrong to glory in this victory, for it is yours, not ours. Indeed, your very presence here is a testament to the inadequacy of our own preparations. Plainly, it is time that we reapprise the threat posed by the heretics and their readiness to address it. We can no longer say with any certainty that we are equal to the task, but this is none of your concern. Forgive me. Your deeds shall not be forgotten, my friend. You, Urianger, and your entire order have my utmost thanks. So yes, hey, actually ended up working out with how much I go back to Urianger. Fancy that. I am going to use a ticket. I'll also refill my water because gosh dang, I'm thirsty and it's empty. Yeah, I may as well go down the list. Arya, I am most heartened by thy safe return. Wert thou able to cast a light on the shadows that haunted the shroud? So it is true, having awakened from thy eternal slumber, the dark divinity now rides free in the shroud. Whilst you were afield, I immersed myself in the scriptures. The more I scoured the words, the more I did realize that the writings draw heavily upon elegant historical chronicles. History is quite a fascinating beast, is it not? One nation's glory is another's suffering. One nation's great hero, another's most abhorrent villain. I mean not to speak in platitudes, only to say that there is never but a single story side to any story, even a story that's presented as historical fact. To what end did the great hero Ballad steal Odin in the Gala Crystal? What impels the dark divinity to ride once again? Cast thine light on the shadows of history, friend, that we might be delivered from the darkness. I don't know why I'm looking. That's what I'm taking. Greetings, Arya, though I would not discourage the company if you cross the threshold of the waking sands on the mere whim. Dost thou require my aid in some manner? The Lord of Leven was returned unto the forest. The sylphs challenged the Sahagin for the swiftness of their summoning, and thy account doth paint most vividly the image of Ramu's amplified energies. I fear the touched ones, too, dabbled in sacrificial ritual. Thy stern expression bespeaks thy understanding. Even the denizens of the 12s would possess no immunity against Ascian manipulations. Once more are we reminded that only with the lifting of darkness shall this primal nightmare cease to haunt us. We shall prevail, warrior of light. By the radiance of thee and thy companions we shall prevail. 'Tis not the first time I have seen thee stride into the waking sands wearing such a look. Thou art as an open book, Arya, wherein the tale of thy victory is writ large. In her redoubled strength I glimpse the dark hand of the Paragons. Her return and her very defeat serveth merely to continue the escalating cycle of conflict. Full glad am I, too, of thine all-surpassing martial skills, Arya, yet still more glad would I be were they not required. Would that the Lady Iceheart could be more to abandon her misbegotten crusade. Till she be thus converted, or else slain, the people of Ishgard will know no peace. But be not disheartened. One day, by thy light, the darkness within and without shall be purged, and the Ascians shall taste lasting defeat. We need only have faith. So that does finish the quest off him. However, we do still need to deal with Odin. But first, I'm going to go to Tussle with Gods. I'm sure I'm going to have to go back to Urianger afterwards, but I was thinking like, oh, I should have done this. Should have done this differently. Shoot. Greetings, adventurers. So you're the ones as hopes to trade some primal curiosities, Arya. Urianger is guaranteed their authenticity, so why don't you let Rowena here have a look at these ritual objects of yours? Carved from beastman bones, just like he described. Well, I'd be lying if I said these trinkets didn't make my skin crawl like a dye or my undergarments. In case you misunderstand, that's an expression of high praise, lass. My customers will be gutting each other in the streets for a chance to purchase your trophies. Show them to Lorena, my acquisitions officer, and she'll walk you through the transaction. That was interesting. Something to do with lag there. There you are. God damn you, Rowena. You promised me a life of excitement in the exotic land of Mordona. Now here I am stocking your shelves like a trained dopo. May I help you, miss? What in the seven unholy hells are these gruesome things? Beastman ritual tools? You adventurers and your penchant for sewing the most disgusting souvenirs in your packs. That goes twice for Rowena wanting to stock this stuff and thrice for her adult customers for begging to buy it. But that's neither here nor there. Whatever it is that drives you folks, also fills my purse with coin. Now, were you seeking a trade for aught in particular? The special weapons we deal in, is it here? Take a few of these tokens and you'll be able to exchange them for any arms you fancy. If you're one of those completionist types, then you'll no doubt want an entire armory of the things. Just bring me another set of those stomach-churning ritual tools and I'll see you rewarded with more tokens. Let's hop to it. So yeah, we did unlock another repeatable quest. One that used to be once a week, but I believe it's just repeatable flat out now. So which one is it? Here we go. Primal Gear. Is this it? No, this is not the one I'm looking for. Rowena's token exchange. That's the one I'm looking for. So let's just change our filter to monk. There it is. So we can get special looking weapons. Fortunately, they aren't like super fancy. I don't even know if you can make them fancier. That's why this list seems short. They didn't add red mage to it. Oh. And this is that. You have to realize how long it's been since I've like looked at this list here. I don't look at this list very much. So that's Shiva and Leviathan. Ever, unfortunately, it does appear that unfortunately, they aren't, like, super fancy, but of course, these did used to be some pretty good weapons, being... Not that one. Okay, I chose the wrong one. When they first came out, like, eye level 90 was pretty good. Almost got level 110 over here. So while I'm here, I know I'm kind of dilly-dallying. See, one thing I need to do, I need to extract material from that. And no, I was trying to not select that. Ring back. Ahem. Ahem. Ow. Bracelet too. I realized that had to put me in the Shiva bracelet here. I picked up. Okay. Anyway, let's make a trip back over to Gridania. I'm trying to remember where. So, it turns out it's here with our good friend Scarlet, Fear and Odin in the Shroud. Arya, your timing never fails to amaze. Unless I'm mistaken, you have knowledge of the other Primal Odin, correct? As I thought. Well, as you know, we have long pursued the dark divinity from the pages of arcane scripture to the Shroud itself. Finally, we have a plan to put his prowling to an end. Brother O'Pepsi has the command. He has personally requested your aid in this venture and awaits you at Earth's Fount. I am sure he will give you the details once you present yourself. Godspeed, Arya. Hello, Pepsi. Adventurer, thank you for coming. We seek the dark divinity, and you must be made privy to the plan before the game is afoot. As you know, Odin hunts in this forest. We would banish him from the Shroud, yet in actual fact he has fallen before countless adventurers already. By all right, the Primal should probably us no more. Yet, though again and again he is vanquished, he rises always to charge through the Twilight. His constant reappearance is perplexing to say the least, and raises two questions. Who summons him, and how does he change his visage upon manifesting? Odin is alone amongst the Primals in these aspects. Indeed, I can find not a single sentence in the scriptures that sheds light on his devilish abilities. There is no answer in words writ of the pen. Now the sword must serve. Our plan is to send a band of adventurers against the dark divinity. Brother Isuion, my master, and I will observe the battle from afar. We will have seen the moment of Odin's defeat may give us a clue, one that will lead to uncovering the truth of the Primal that has escaped us thus far. Naturally, this hinges upon the company's victory. No one but a warrior of light could hope to survive the battle, hence I have asked you here. Indeed, without you, our venture is doomed to fail. So I implore you, lend us your strength. If you acquiesce, I shall invoke the power of the elementals and draw the dark divinity to this spring. So, yep. We need to now go face Odin! Yay! This one kind of catches people up because they still queue it, but has a queue like the extremes and has a difficulty like the extremes. So, much like the extremes, I mean, that's what's in this video, honestly. Do not queue it unless you do not queue it in Duty Finder. So the whole mention of Odin returning again and again is actually reference to the fact there is a fate for Odin that occurs every few days, and he takes on the size and look of whoever dealt the killing blow on him last time. Odin. I say he has kind of the difficulty of extremes, but it's mainly just difficulty on the healers, honestly. This is a big fight against healers and in terms of healers and tanks. Yeah, so this Falcon hit move he is doing does percentage-based damage. Brings it down to, I think, like 40% HP or so. So yeah, it hurts. Sanj-Tal, sorry, is his tank buster. Of course, against a level 50 tank. Come on, Odin. That is going to hurt like a mother. So, he also does this Hull of Lead move against 2 to 3 random people. It puts a slow effect on them. And he also does AoE like so, which puts a bleeding effect on everyone. And this is his mini ultimate. He's going to place these 2 Gugners, which will put a persistent bleeding effect on the field until the Gugners are defeated. So of course, you are going to want to not do that. So they also just use Hall of Stone there. If you are in the area of effect, when it goes off, you will be petrified. It will go off between 1 and 2 times on 2 random people. He is throwing swords across the field. These are going to do line attacks in the areas in which they are happening. After a certain HP, he does start to do it twice. We did kind of skip over him just doing it the once. So here's him doing Hollow Stone twice on us. And Einherjar is his big AoE, and he is going into Shinzen Zentetsuken. I feel like this is a move I didn't mention. So this is his ultimate. This is your DPS race. You just want to kill at that point. And that's Odin. Gosh, I feel like there's something I forgot to mention. Oh yeah, he does have a cross pattern with the swords that can happen. We did, of course, kill him a little bit too fast to see that, but that is the basics of Odin. It is a big fight in terms of stressing healers. Every time I've done this, it's always come down to the healers not healing fast enough and not keeping up with the damage that's happening. So, we get an item at level 50 piece of gear that is kind of looking a bit like Odin's gear. And it is for just Disciples of War or magic in general. I think there's some tank pieces specifically, but otherwise, yeah. It's just basically, at this point, it's glamour if you want to happen to look like Odin. Your bravery before the Dark Divinity was commendable, Adventure. I didn't realize this was a little kid. I am relieved you escaped the battle with your life. It is not for nothing, I might add. Brother Yasumiyan and I have observed something remarkable, and though I should like to discuss it with him present, and see how he comes. They're just tiny in general, I guess. Adventurer, I would offer you thanks for all you have done today. I am Yasumiyan, master of the Conjurer's Guild. Ah, but no doubt you are keen to learn more of the Dark Divinity. Very well, I shall share with you what I've gleaned in observing your battle. To begin, filling a primal allows the Aether of their physical manifestations to return to the land. This much you know, yes? Odin seems to be subject to the self-same laws, yet his sword, the Zentetsuken, remains even after his body vanishes. Thus we thought to examine the blade, and in so doing, found that its etheric density is unimaginably high. Now, we had always assumed the being who brandished the weapon was Odin, but what if we erred? Well, the sword's Zentetsuken is in and of itself the Dark Divinity. An unforeseen conclusion, yes, but one that clarifies much of the primal. Indeed, that would explain why Odin has never truly fallen. No one has thought to destroy the blade, and if Zentetsuken is the primal, could it not conjure itself a new wielder? Yet, just as Ifrit's tempered or Leviathan's drowned, Odin must needs have his sundered to offer crystals in his name, unless he drinks of the Shroud's Aether. Such a weak source of power could be why it takes time for the Dark Divinity to manifest again. You see, Adventurer, our theory accounts quite nicely for two of the mysteries that for so long surrounded the primal. And yet, as Opepsi hints, a third mystery remains. If there are no sundered, how does Odin sustain himself? Cannot imagine the wishes of those who first summoned him were so strong as to echo throughout the centuries. Brother, I do not think our theory is flawed. No, this discovery makes clear the holes in what we have for so long believed of the primals. We must revisit the beings with a keener eye. I will inform Master Urianger of what we have gleaned here, Adventure. I urge you to do the same, should something else of Odin occur to you. But today is a victory all the same. We have the Zentetsuken and the mysteries that remain pale in import to the act of locking the primal away. With any luck, we can seal the sword and end the Dark Divinity's ride. Brothers, something terrible has happened. The Zentetsuken is gone. One of my own men has stolen away with the blade and left nary a trace to track his flight. Never dreamt he would do such a thing, and I stayed my hand too long to stop him. What? Are you men so disloyal as to rob you? Tell me, Lewin, why would someone do such a thing? Forgive me, brother, I cannot say. I'm as astonished as you. The thief was a sworn man of God's quiver, a true and Nikerdani arrow. Moreover, what could he stand to gain by stealing so fell a blade? Mayhap the soul of the thief was stolen along with the blade. It is within the power of all primals to bend the mortals to their wills. If the Zentetsuken and Odin are one and the same, then the sword may control the now sundered man. Is that not right, brother? That is indeed possible. Gods, could I have been so blind as that? But Lord Lewin, it is I who need to apologize. Had I been more wary, I would have foreseen this. Instead, it cost us dearly and placed you and your men in great danger. Let us not cry over lost swords. Lord Lewin, send forth the gods clever and wood whalers to scour the shroud. Brother Opepsi and I will devote ourselves to devising a way to fell Odin after Zentetsuken is ours again. Yes, brother, indeed, it would be a poor thing to have the blade in our grasp and no way to destroy it, nor dull its bite. Adventurer, I will call upon you again when we have something to show for our efforts. Until then, go in peace. So the other thing I want to say is kind of special about the Odin one is I don't think it comes up in Trial Roulette, the Duty Roulette Trial. I don't think it's in that, which is why it's kind of garbage to try and QA. I don't remember if it's going to show me on this list. Yeah, no, it's not. So anyway, that is going to do it for now. In the next part, we will take on another side quest chain. I know. I want to get to Ishgard too. I want to get to Heavensward. Arr! But we've got this cleanup to do in Realm Reborn. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Next time we'll go ahead and take on that next side question. We're getting there. We have maybe 1 or 2 videos left of Realm Reborn. Maybe. Wait, did I say goodbye? Yeah, well, legend for a legend. How good it is to see you again, Arya. Little have I had to wander in search of inspiration these past moons, for the very air resounds with word of your valorous deeds. Are the rumors true? The primals of Eorzea are resurrected in ever more ferocious forms, only to meet a swift end at your hand? I knew it, but tell me, in your forays among the beast tribes, did you ever come across a nightmare? Seeds of darkness gifted to the beast tribes by the servants of evil as mounts of their unholy armies? Or so the rumors have it, for neither sable hide nor inky hair have I seen firsthand. You have not only seen these foul beasts, but tamed them, even the fabled magic steeds consecrated by the primals themselves? I can scarce believe it possible, yet if anyone is capable of defeat, it is you. I thought the animals were merely the stuff of a legend, creatures of manifest darkness. Sacrifice of the beast tribes of holy gods are reaching for the void, recast in their elemental image. To think that not only do these eldritch beings exist, I know the very woman to whom they answer. Yes, I see it now. You are the one, Arya, the one of whom the oracle spoke all those years ago. I wish for you to have this whistle. I collected it during my wanderings in the east, a gift from an ancient hermit who lived this life of seclusion atop a holy mountain. At the time, I thought it a poor reward for climbing to the top of that god's-forsaken peak. But as I turned to go, the hermit spoke unto me thus: the gift I give you is no mundane instrument. Only a matchless hero may sound its clarion call and summon the ageless one, a legend to call a legend forth. Colt that I was, I thought him senile, a broken man with a broken whistle, and yet there was something in the passion of his voice, the glint in his eyes, that told me he was speaking true. Though my lips have never mustered a single peep from the thing, I have kept it at my side ever since. But now I gladly part with it, for who could the hermit have been speaking of but you, Arya, a matchless hero who has defended the realm time and time again from the primal menace, a living legend who can call forth legendary beasts at will. Surely he must have foreseen our fateful meeting. Full faith have I that your heroic lips will succeed where my merely musical ones fail. What an honor it shall be to bear witness to the first encounter between the greatest hero of our time and a mythical creature the like of which the world has never seen. What song I shall make of it. But a sublime song calls for a sublime setting. I can think of none better than the crystal cliffs of Rathfrost overlooking the Silver Tear Lake. Forgive me for wishing to add a touch of theater to an already auspicious event, but if you would indulge me this once, I would be eternally grateful. I shall follow you to Rathfrost, and keep out of sight until such time as you blow the fife and summon the... Oh, but my heart races just to think of it. To Rathfrost, Arya, your legend awaits. I do need to adjust the sound. I turned it down for farming mounts, but, yeah. I, honestly didn't expect it to go, like... so many first tries. Like, the longest one was Garuda. So it's like, yeah. It's a thing. Also, speaking of, here's the Ifrit one! So, it is right down hither. So here's all 6 of them. Beautiful, not even in my this flight's of fancy that I ever dream of witnessing such a sight. If I'm not mistaken, this is the immortal Kieran of Eastern legend. Thank you, Arya, for allowing me this chance to see one with my own eyes. I shall treasure this memory for always. That the Kieran has responded to your summons can mean only one thing. It assents to your command. It is as I always knew it would be. For the variable, but we bet you're the one the hermit spoke of. The legend fits, call the legend forth. Beneath a crystal bower, a silent whistle sounds. That o'er a crystal tower around the world resounds. So from its clouded kingdom a golden steed descends, to bend its knee to a hero brave and for its strength to lend. I am positively overflowing with newfound inspiration, as all thanks to you, Arya. I shall call this song the Ballad of the Myth Rider. It shall be my finest creation yet. I have but one request, Arya. As you ride out into the wide world atop your legendary steed, do not forget to return to me once in a while and recount your adventures. People the realm over may shout your praises, but who among them can set them to verse as well as I? Also, I just realized I'm on Red Mage. Well, you know, oh well. So I was doing the farming on Red Mage. So there is one other mount that I did not farm, and it is this one. This one is called Nightmare. It's a nightmare to get. It's like a super, super low chance to drop, only from Garuda, Titan, and Ifrit. So obviously Garuda is the one you would ideally farm it from. Yeah, I'm not gonna go for it, but here's Nightmare. Yep, that's Nightmare. It's a nightmare. I've done it on my main character. I am not doing it here. I got pretty dang lucky, honestly, getting these ones as it was, so... in terms of Kieran... one thing that scene does not show is Kieran in flight, where it gains some wings. So yeah, now I'll see you all next time for... side quest. I've never done that side quest on my main character, so that's gonna be fun! If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. I know it's a long one, but we took care of all the extreme. If you really enjoyed it, consider supporting the channel. All support greatly helps to keep being content like this. You can find the links for that in the description, along with links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, this is rinimt, signing out.